1.
Five,
4,
3, 2, 1.
Put everything down and crank your speakers up.
it's time for
The Realest Podcast.
Oh yeah!
We got us a new world champion!
And what is going on, guys? You're listening to the Realest Podcast, and welcome to the Backlash result/review for 2017 in Chicago, Illinois. Joined by Andrew, Juan already in the chat saying yes, Jinder won, yes. And it is true. From jobber to champion, Jinder Mahal in 2017 is your WWE champion.
Only on SmackDown. Only on SmackDown.
Man,
This guy could not buy a win on Monday Night Raw at all. And he's WWE champion.
his last loss, if I'm not mistaken, was against Finn Balor. I still just can't get over the fact that we're here to say Jinder Mahal is our champion. I don't know, I understand why he was given that spot. But, I mean, I wanted him to win to see fans lash out. But to say that I wanted him to win, I just, wow. They
Well,
really
Chicago was
compensated
all
him.
behind him.
It was 50-50. There's people that were saying that Jinder sucks. Juan says Randy was doing nothing with that championship anyway. So, I mean, I felt like the title, I don't think the title hasn't been important since AJ had it. But I will say it kind of seemed like, in my opinion at least, that Randy wasn't selling.
Well, they made it obvious. They made it obvious that he was going to lose because Randy Orton dominated 90% of that match. They made it very obvious. I mean, if anyone didn't think that Jinder was going to win after the first 5 minutes of that match, then they shouldn't be watching wrestling. Seriously. I mean, they made the signs very clear, and that's classic wrestling move. Whoever dominates the match for the longest amount of time often ends up winning or losing the match.
Yeah. I know as of yesterday, the betting odds, or either yesterday or Friday, the betting odds for Jinder Mahal actually went up hard. So, again, to say that Jinder Mahal is our champion is still nuts to think and nuts to say. Just wow, is really all that I can honestly say. So, let's speak of the pay-per-view all around. I didn't think it was I think they've done better pay-per-views. I don't think that the Jinder Mahal match and Randy Orton match was all that great. And the only reason I feel like that Randy wasn't selling any of Jinder Mahal's moves. It honestly felt like there was no selling on his part.
I didn't get that from it. I mean, I wasn't really into the match to begin with anyway. But I didn't really see too much of that. I mean, there's just so much to that match that you really have to look into more so than the selling. It's just the story that's being told in there. It wasn't really that good at all. I mean, you got a guy who literally needs a team to basically beat Randy Orton, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, it was kind of obvious that it happened, and there was one part he messed up one of the brothers, And I mean, even after he did it, he gave that ooh, like he messed, like I messed. Oh, I might have messed up there. No, but the story was clear. You know what that match was going to be. Jinder mess up his shoulder. Jinder work on the shoulder, and go from there. You know, very very clear from the get go. Not bad. I don't think it's that bad of a set. You know, bad of a story. I understand it. His finisher has to do with Jinder's finisher has to do with the shoulder. So really, Backlash is just continuing a lot of storylines. Obviously, the Jinder Mahal / Randy Orton storyline will continue to Money in the Bank, and then go on from there. Rumor has it that John Cena will face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. So, could we see a potential few month of a title run from Jinder Mahal?
I don't know. That'll be an interesting story if John Cena and Randy Orton are both pinned by Jinder Mahal. That would really speak volumes of the confidence they have in him and what they actually have planned for the guy going forward.
Well, I don't think that they're going to go that far, and I think Cena will win his 17th title on Jinder. If you want me to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be until SummerSlam.
I know, that's when they'll wrestle.
Is that their next pay-per-view, SummerSlam?
Money in the Bank. So Randy will get his rematch.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense, but, let's talk about the pay-per-view as a whole. As I was saying, first match we got was Nakamura versus Ziggler. From what I was not able to watch this. I was celebrating my birthday having a birthday dinner, so I wasn't able to watch it. So Andrew, I'm going to let you basically take the podium here. What exactly happened in this match, and really how was it?
Really, it was back and forth. Dolph dominated most of the match. Really went to work on Shinsuke. Shinsuke got the upper hand towards the end. It was a decent match. I mean, there's not really that much to say. Everyone knew that that I'm still hyped about Jinder Mahal winning. Everyone expected Shinsuke Nakamura to win. I think we were a little bit surprised that he kind of went first on the card. But in terms of his match with Dolph Ziggler, it was pretty decent. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing those two go at it again. I doubt it's going to happen. But, look forward to Shinsuke Nakamura starting some feuds with some big-time superstars in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. From what I heard and what I saw on Twitter, it seemed like it wasn't that bad of a match. It seemed, physical, everything that, it really needed to be. But moving on, this is when I got here. I got there at about the mid part of the Breezango versus Uso tag team match. I hope we get to see more. Really do. I hope we get to see more Breezango versus the Usos, because I am sold on Breezango. Easily my favorite tag team in the SmackDown brand.
Yeah, but they made it obvious that they were going to lose too. They came out, being like jokers, and like as entertaining as that is, it shows that they're not going to walk away with the championships that way. It's just like, oh, okay.
They're easily going to be doing whatever it's called. They're going to be, having to chase it and fight for it. So there was good wrestling, though. It was. I thought the ending could have been a little bit better. Part of me was I was really hoping Breezango was going to win, but obviously it didn't happen. I really wanted them to win. But I really do hope that these guys continue. Again, Breezango, I'm really getting behind them. A lot of people are probably thinking, wow, why? Those two are actually really talented. And if the officials are actually behind them, I could see a good push coming out of this.
Right. No. I mean, for me, they have to show what they did to get there. And, I've seen a lot better out of Tyler Breeze. A lot better out of Fandango. I wish they would drop the silly gimmick. As much as I enjoyed the match and everything like that, I want to see the old Tyler Breeze come back. I want to see, the real Fandango come out, not this fashion police business where they're sitting around trying to have fun. Because like I feel like that takes away from the match a little bit, like in terms of like the seriousness, and I feel like it really hurts their position with the company in terms of like, okay, this is a serious tag team. But I mean, that's just my opinion.
And before we continue, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying what you're listening to. Also, hit that like button if you're enjoying it also. So, yeah. But again, as I was saying, Breezango, I'm behind them. I've been behind them. I was really excited to see that they were the number one contenders. Obviously, me wanting them to win, they didn't win. Logically, it makes sense. You make the Usos run kind of legit, not a fake. So, make them chase it because there's nobody else there that can really go for it. I really don't see, American Alpha being that team, especially since, they've already had that run and their run wasn't that great. Anything you want to add on that before we can continue?
I think we need to see some more development from these tag teams. I really do. If you want to have a strong tag team division, you have to really build them up, and that's the same problem NXT's having right now. We really don't have. I mean, it's almost as bad as NXT. Let me put it that way. At least with NXT, they do not have tag teams that are ready and credible for the tag team championships, other than Authors of Pain. We don't. I mean, other than the Heavy Machinery that are coming, but I still don't see them as a legit tag team. As opposed to SmackDown, you have tag teams that are established. Problem is that we don't really know too much about them, especially with American Alpha. They just sort of threw them in, was like, oh yeah, just do this. And then as soon as they give them the titles, they don't give them any damn storylines. So of course the execs will be like, wow, these are really boring people because they're not giving them opportunity to really do anything about it. And the Usos, who have established themselves as a dominant heel team right off the bat, are the only people to have some sort of identity. So it's kind of like, all right, we'll just leave it with the Usos.
Yeah. But I think Breezango is doing a good job in developing a characters and something of themselves, and I think we could easily see them possibly being your tag team champions in the future. Moving on, we had Sami Zayn facing off against Baron Corbin. Obviously, Sami Zayn getting the win. Although I know that there was, Justin LaBar on Twitter was saying, Sami about to work his role, as in getting the crowd behind him and then taking the loss to the up and coming superstar. Well, Justin LaBar was wrong this time. Sami Zayn gets the clean victory over Baron Corbin. And as I said yesterday, because again we didn't do a prediction show, I think that it doesn't hurt Baron Corbin because Baron Corbin has still looked very strong in that match. Baron Corbin has looked strong in just about any match that he's been in. And now we have Sami Zayn, who needed the win. In reality, he really did need that win, and like I said, I don't think it really sets Baron Corbin back.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely needed for Sami Zayn. But the question is, where do you go here with Sami Zayn? Do you continue to give him a push, or are you going to have him go back to his role right afterwards and kind of squash any ideas of a push?
I don't know if the game plan from here is to have AJ and Kevin Owens continue feuding. If it is, then I mean I'm fine. I'll get more into that match later. If not, then for me, I think Baron Corbin winning the Money in the Bank would be best, and then turn around and have Sami go on against Kevin Owens, and then have finally have Sami win something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely probably be the best bet for him. But the question is, are they actually going to go through with it? Because there's one thing for us to say, okay, well, this is what he deserves and this is what he needs. It's the other thing for what WWE Creative thinks. It's like, well, we kind of need Sami Zayn to kind of do this.
Yeah, time will tell. Because I do think that since he's on that brand now, there's not a lot. I mean, he doesn't have to get a lot of people over anymore. I think where
Yeah.
he was on Raw, there was just so much more talent that was better than him and bigger than him. I wouldn't say better than him, bigger than him. So I think that's where it hurt.
Well, like for me, as a fan, like it kind of upsets me for Sami Zayn because look at where we are now. Jinder Mahal is a WWE champion, a guy who was a jobber a month ago.
Yeah.
What about Sami Zayn?
Well, like I said, I think that the
You
right
know,
move would be what I said. Well, yeah, but
I
at the
mean,
same time,
you
it's
talk
still.
about Jinder Mahal, who was absolutely nothing, and he becomes WWE champion before a guy like Sami Zayn, who really deserved it.
I wouldn't. Well, you
Not
also
not saying
can't.
that Jinder doesn't deserve it
I
at
was
all.
about
I'm
to
not. I'm
say you
not
also
putting it
can't
out there.
say because Jinder was there before and he was a jobber then and then came back as a jobber. So I would.
Yeah,
He has more years than Sammy does in WWE.
yeah, but there's a difference between being in WWE for years and being a jobber and all that stuff and not earning it, as opposed to Sami Zayn, who has built himself on entertaining the crowd. I
At
mean, like
NXT,
or
he
NXT, but still,
he hasn't done
like
that
and like I
before.
say, I'm not taking anything away from Jinder Mahal, but Jinder Mahal, like from what it seems, and I could be wrong, but like it seems like the only reason why Jinder Mahal is on top right now is because they want to branch out into the Middle East and sort of get a following over there. And it
Well,
seems like, hey, put the belt on him for a little bit, and get a little bit of a fan base over there,
they have a big following in India, and Jinder actually merch wise has the number one merch sales in India.
which
So
makes sense.
yeah, it does make sense. Am I saying that well they got to do this just for India? No, but but I also understand why they're doing it.
I mean, it's a marketing ploy.
Yeah, absolutely. It also could be because I honestly and truthfully think that Jinder Mahal believes that he is the best. He's the best and the most improved wrestler on that roster.
I think he's proving it. I think he's absolutely
I
proving it,
think
or
he's
at least
proving it on the
as
mic.
young.
I think he's proving it on
But
the mic.
I mean, he still has a long way to go before he proves that he deserves to be in this position.
Now with
I mean,
tonight,
you have to show how you are as a champion.
with tonight,
Now,
I don't. I'm not gonna go off and say that he delivered such a great match. I think he did really well in selling. And again, even though you don't agree, I really do think that Randy Orton didn't sell to a point where he needed to sell for Jinder Mahal.
mm, I don't know. This is where you start to see whether or not they made a good decision or a bad decision, because we were all excited for Dean Ambrose to be WWE champion, and then 2 or 3 months later, we're like, man, why were we this excited? So
I don't think that
it's up
we're
to Jinder
excited right
Mahal to
now.
kind of
We're
prove it.
we're kind of in a Jinder Mahal is our champion, or Jinder Mahal is WWE champion. Are we really saying that? I think that's where we're at right now. With Dean, it was more like he's worked his ass off. We for a while now we've thought that he is deserving. Jinder Mahal, it's like, wow, Jinder Mahal is really the number one contender. Well, it'd be crazy if he wins. I actually want to see what happens if he wins. I hope he wins just to see what the crowd does. And then, boom, he wins, and we're just like, what? What?
No, you see the faces of the crowd. It
Oh
was
yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I would be doing the same thing. I kind of was. It was like I sat here and said, "Wow," just wow. But let's move on. Again, Sami Zayn getting a clean win. The welcoming committee versus Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Natalia, Carmella, Tamina, aka the welcoming committee, beats SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch.
They're just stirring the pot for what I said earlier, Blake. I'm telling you right now, that's how they're going to debut Asuka. Asuka's going to come in, destroy the entire welcoming committee.
I don't know about that one. Personally, I don't see the gain in this. I don't see how this will benefit anybody. The only thing I will say that it benefits is your champion didn't tap out.
Right.
I don't see where they're gonna go from here because Charlotte can't turn around and like, all right, well we lost, but I'm still coming for you.
hmm Well, I mean, if anything, Natalya should be putting her claim forward because she won the match.
I don't know. I don't that. This is one thing I'm gonna sit here and say I don't understand where they're going with this. You know, with Jinder, I understand. Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, I understand. Tag team championship match, I understand. This match, I don't understand at all.
Well, why was this welcoming committee formed in the first place? That's so good.
Well, they're trying to play the she just got here. She doesn't deserve these opportunities since she just got here. Talking about Charlotte. Naomi got thrown into it, and Becky Lynch is, being the face that she is, playing that baby face. So Juan says, "LOL, I was happy. What about AJ? He lost." We'll get to AJ Styles in just a second. So, again, I don't understand it. I don't think I will understand it. This is something I'm gonna have to sit down and just watch SmackDown and see where they go from here. So I'm not gonna completely say, this is retarded, this is dumb, blah blah blah. I'm actually gonna just watch SmackDown and see where they go from here. Now, if they kind of just diss it and nothing comes of it, because I honestly and truthfully could easily see a rematch. Typical of WWE, having a rematch of the same match from the pay-per-view. We'll just have another 6 man tag team on SmackDown, and seeing the team that lost win. I could easily see that happening, which is really dumb. But if it does, then it makes sense, and I'll probably hate on it, and you'll probably hear me hate on it. A reminder. Never mind. So moving on to what Juan was wanting to talk about. Wait, first off, what did you think of it? Because I didn't even get your opinion on it.
I'm just at a loss for words. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Who's going to be doing who? Is this welcoming committee going to go anywhere? Like, how long are they going to keep the welcoming committee? It just, for me, I just don't see any need for a women's faction if you don't have women's tag team championships. It just, for me, it's such a weird thing. And this is really the first time that we're seeing something like this, a woman's faction. At least, of this caliber. I mean, the other thing you could think of is Layla and Michelle McCool. Was it Layla and Michelle McCool?
Yeah,
I think it was. Cool, yeah. But I mean, that was just two people. It was like they're sharing the title, cool. But a full-fledged faction of 3 members plus James Ellsworth, it's really hard to get behind, or really hard to believe from my standpoint, if there's not a common goal that they could be working towards, as in like a tag team gold, or like a women's championship role where you have the entire division under their control.
Right. We'll just have to see what happens, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they have a plan in mind, and they weren't just saying, you know what, we don't want Naomi to lose her championship now, but hey, let's just put a buffer in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's move on to moving on from that United States Championship. Kevin Owens, the face of America, facing off against AJ Styles. Obviously, the storyline here was AJ Styles, since he lost to Jinder Mahal, having Kevin Owens interfere by hitting him with the belt in the right leg was going to be the storyline they go with, and that's what they proceeded to go where they went. AJ losing in the fashion that he did doesn't hurt AJ, doesn't hurt Kevin Owens. It's going to continue the storyline because honestly, it was a I wouldn't say it was a fantastic match, but it was a good match, solid match. It told the story.
Yeah, I think it also shows the WWE's reluctance to kind of give AJ the United States Championship, because I feel like they're just keeping AJ busy until they have him challenge for the WWE Championship later on down the road. Mm-hmm. It's like, here, just work with this. Work with Kevin Owens for now, and then, once we find something for you, we'll throw you back in there.
Right. I'm not gonna go along and say that it's once they find something. I don't know if we will see him win the United States Championship, but I see this going on. I could see him winning the United States Championship. I could see him winning it at Money in the Bank and then possibly losing it again at SummerSlam and then move on from there. But other than that, I really just thinking here, I really could see him winning it. Because again, the feud is money. I think it's going to be dumb if they allow Kevin Owens to be in the Money in the Bank match or AJ Styles if these two wrestle at Money in the Bank, especially with people along the line, Baron Corbin, Sami.
You do realize that's probably what's going to happen, right? I mean, that's normally what happens. You're a United States champion or you're Intercontinental champion, whoever's on this particular show, normally is in your Money in the Bank ladder match.
I know that, but how many people are usually in it? 5, 6?
It depends. I've seen shows where it's like 6 or some that are 8. It just depends on what they want to go with this year.
I think last year was 5. Right? Dean, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Alberto Del Rio, Cesaro. Yeah, there was 5. I could easily see Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and then you would need 2 more. Dolph Ziggler, and possibly Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's what I was going to say. Would you put him in there? Because, I mean, people will be pissed if Shinsuke does not win.
You got to have Shinsuke win.
Well, yeah, you got to protect him. I mean, the guy just came off a win.
That's what I'm trying to think is, do you put Shinsuke in there? That's just a whole nother topic.
I mean, unless you intend Shinsuke to win it, I would, put him in there.
But I'm just thinking of who else could you... Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, it ain't going to happen, but Ty Dillinger really...
I wouldn't say it ain't going to happen.
Would be a nice...
see it happening because if he's not... I don't think it'll hurt him that much if he does lose. I don't. I mean, easily doesn't hurt him.
There's just
you could also throw in Luke Harper or Eric Rowan. There's people to throw in there.
Yeah, talk about that match, man. That match was a snooze fest.
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot that happened. No, but again,
I mean, it was just there after the Kevin Owens match. It was like, here, now we got to calm the fans down.
But again, I agree and I understand why they had Kevin Owens win the way he did. It basically will continue their feud, obviously, because of the cheap shot that he did. So, expect more Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles in the future. But Luke Harper, you've already basically said it. Eric Rowan, snooze fest. That's what it was.
I mean, is there any other way to describe it? I mean...
No. There really isn't anything else to say about it.
I mean, Luke, I know we said this several times already. Luke Harper is the only one out of those two that actually have some promise.
I don't think it's Luke Harper's fault why that match was bad.
No, it just... when you're working with Eric Rowan...
Yeah.
It's really hard to kind of put on a good match because Rowan doesn't really... I don't know if it's because of his character and then adding on to his selling points. I don't think he sells right. I really don't.
He really has ever had a character. He's always been the guy that gets beat up at part of the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
He's always that guy that took the most beatings. And he was kind of just that guy with the mask that, you thought was just insane. He never really... I never thought he would ever do anything singles-wise. And he wasn't even... When he did have that singles career, he didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, Luke Harper did, but he didn't. They're doing it over again. It's the same thing. It's like Luke Harper has promise. Oh, he's very interesting. Oh, he's changed a little bit since his last singles run. Okay, well, now he's a face. Awesome. Eric Rowan, it's just like he's the same dude, just with a different mask. Oh, okay, wait, I see they're trying to run with the story. Oh, well, you left the family. You left me here. But still, it's not working. They need to fix Eric Rowan or do something with him. I thought they got rid of Eric Rowan at first. I
Breaking
mean,
news, guys.
he
I'm so
disappeared.
sorry to interrupt you because this is going to have to be a must. Roman Reigns official is in our chat. And who would have thought that Roman Reigns would have great English, right? Hi, guys, with a Z. I will come live on YouTube after 2 days with a Z. So fans, keep in touch with me. Bye, guys, with a Z.
What just happened?
That's what happens in chat. Because, Roman Reigns is going to come to the Realest podcast. Woohoo.
Juan's going nuts right now.
Yeah. Only if, right? He wouldn't want to come. He wouldn't want to come on this show, because I would be saying a lot of. I would be asking a lot of questions. He said no comment. No comment. That's all. That's literally the interview. No comment. No comment.
So what does Vince really make you do for him? Nah.
No comment.
No comment.
So do you expect to what do you like being face? No comment.
Oh man, I don't know. Well, this pay-per-view, like I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate doing WWE pay-per-views after a takeover weekend. It really ruins it for me. Because you have takeover and you're so excited, then you just
I think
you just go to SmackDown and it's kind of like, And it's like, this is SmackDown. You're supposed to be happy because SmackDown's better than Raw.
I think
but then you have that, and then
I think the past two takeovers, following up a takeover, have actually been really good. The only reason we'll say that the Rumble was as bad as it was because Roman being number 30. But if you look at it from card standpoint, that was actually a really solid card and a really solid match, or super solid night for wrestling. I thought they did solid there. And then WrestleMania, we thought that they wouldn't be able to ever, to beat what they did. And
WrestleMania was really good this year.
WrestleMania was good. I think that them having, 8 hours of wrestling, 8 hours of content is what killed it for me.
Yeah.
But WrestleMania was good this year. It wasn't bad. So I just think it was more of, this pay-per-view, realistically, was a pay-per-view to continue storylines. And, of course, it wasn't great because of what was there. But, I mean, I look at the future for SmackDown, and I see so much promise, I'm okay with it. I really am okay with it. Like, there really isn't anything to be upset about. I mean, obviously tonight, it was bad, but in the long run, looks like we could get Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. There's a lot of promise in this brand, and I think they're just taking it step by step. They're obviously not going to put any big money matches in their first pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
Right. Well, this week is going to be very tiring for us. I mean, we had to watch Friday, we had to watch Saturday, we had to watch Sunday, and we got Monday and Tuesday again. Well, it's just kind of like
speaking of, Tuesday we will not be going live. Tuesday is my birthday, and I have plans to celebrate. It's obviously another thing is my 21st birthday, so I plan on celebrating.
Ooh, 2-1.
So yeah. So show-wise, we will not be live. So if you want to take that day off, you're totally okay with it. Tomorrow we will have a show. Originally we weren't. I don't know if I promoted that we weren't or not, but we will have a show tomorrow. But Tuesday we will not. So just a heads up to everybody. But overall, I think this was a 6 or 7. I'm gonna give it a 6 because it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
No. But you know what? There is something that we didn't talk about that I would like to mention before we,
Go ahead.
skedaddle. I was really impressed with the kickoff match. Tyler,
I wasn't able to watch
Tyler
it, so
Breeze,
you're gonna have to be the
Ty
one to-
Dillinger,
You'll have
and
to be
Aiden
the,
English.
Sorry, I keep interrupting. You'll have to be the one to talk about that one. I wasn't able to watch.
Yeah, Ty Dillinger, Aiden English. You know, that was a decent match. I think they did excellent storytelling. I legit enjoyed that match. I think that, they were only given like 15 minutes to fight each other anyway. So with the 15 minutes, they sort of, gave as much as they could, and they told a really good story. So, I think, I hope that's not the end of their feud. I hope that there's something else going on with those two. So, let's tune in to SmackDown and see what else they got in store for Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, I think Tyler Dillinger needs to move on from Aiden English. I'm just saying, he does need to move on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, who else are you going to feud him with at this time? I mean, I wouldn't put him up against Baron.
Dolph Ziggler.
You think?
So what Ziggler's there? He's Sami Zayn.
Poor Ziggler. I had half of mine to text you that Ziggler beat Shinsuke. Just see what your reaction would be. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. You won't believe it.
I could have told you what my reaction would be, and it would be, and I quote, "Are you fucking serious?"
Like, yeah, Ziggler just super kicked Nakamura. He took him out.
And if you had me believing it until now, I would have been on a rampage all night long. If you thought the Royal Rumble night was bad,
this just in: Shinsuke Nakamura pinned by Dolph Ziggler.
People have been chatting like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude? He won."
Oh man.
But yeah, what are your? Give us your final opinion on tonight's show, and then we'll, end it.
I think a 6 is a solid number. I wouldn't call it a 5. I think that there's things that they need to improve on. There's things they need to clarify. It's like you said, it was mostly a show to sort of continue stories, which is sort of a shame because pay-per-views are supposed to be ending feuds and starting new ones later on. So it's kind of like, all right, well, everything that we saw is probably going to be repeated down the road. So for me, I mean, that's what makes it a 6, because it's not like we're finalizing anything. It's just we are continuing things for the future for SummerSlam and Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Well, I think with that being said, that's going to do it for us here at the Realest Podcast. If you enjoyed what you listened to, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button. We'll be live tomorrow night with the Monday Night Raw review. Again, Tuesday we will not be live. So until then, for Andrew Bass, I'm Blake Carter. Peace out.